Hello, hi there Scorpios, welcome to your February love horoscope for the month of February. And if you're here for the first time, firstly I've been talking for so long that I'm now tongue-tied. Hopefully we'll get through this reading smoothly, but I'm a psychic. I interpret the information I get from my own spirit guides to help you navigate your love life. If you'd like to know more about me and my services, the links are just down below. And on that note, some of you have booked a reading with me, and some of you have not had the right email addresses for, or you have email blockers, or it's going to your junk mail. I just simply can't get hold of you. So if you think I'm ignoring you, I am not. I have tried several times to get hold of you. Do recontact me again, maybe with a different email address. Try my Facebook, my Instagram, my Twitter, my TikTok. There's so many ways you can contact me so that we can arrange, or read your confirmation email which shows you how to connect with me on Skype, because then we cannot lose communication. So what's coming up for you? The theme that I get for you, now the theme for everybody in the month of February is about transformation. It's a master number month this month, great for manifesting, but it's very much about transformation. But love life, we're in the shadow period of the Venus retrograde. And your energy is coming across as really, now at the final stages, I feel very much of letting go of certain beliefs and ideas you had about love, but certainly for a lot of you about letting go of somebody. Finally, in it all its parts. I feel like you've already come a long way in the journey, but you know, like we have that one little last bit of hope, or the last bits of communication with somebody, and this is the month that it fades completely out for you. It's interesting because I do get that you're both will think about each other, think of how it could be, and the other way I can interpret this, but it definitely feels like this is more specific for people that are letting go of the energies of past relationships or how past relationships affected them. But it feels very personal because I get two people thinking, oh, yeah, that could have been better. That could have worked out, but it didn't. And it's sad, but I'm letting it go now. And you're letting it go because that person's interest level is like that. It's like, yeah. They didn't fight enough for it. They didn't have the energy for it. They just didn't give to it. They just didn't. They resigned to it, became a martyr, self-sabotage, whatever you want to call it. And albeit that you may have held on, that's got weaker and weaker and weaker, where you're now at this place where you're just like, yeah, nope, I'm not waiting anymore. I am going to move forward. It might be heavy-hearted, but actually I feel so much better now. So the transformation for you is all about you internalizing that to yourself, how you progress forward, how you self-indulge, which is definitely the energy very much this year. I get you focusing more on projects and ideas and who you want to be, and recognizing how this connection that you was once connected to in your heart actually held you back from a lot of progress mentally and emotionally, and how you can really focus on that. It doesn't limit you to be emotionally like hijacked by that person. It gives you a lot of clarity and clearness in your head, to the point where I know we're reading for February, but they're showing me glimpses of like April and you feeling free and going on holiday and partying and enjoying actually this sense of freedom. I think even if you are, or you have been trying to date and you've been single, I think you just get to a place where you're just like, I'm just not settling for less. So I'm not going to focus on that area of my life anymore right now. I'm going to focus on me. I'm not going to give that emotional attention. I'm not going to let that emotionally drain me. And it gets refocused back onto you. I feel like if you're in a marriage connection, again, probably not going to be, but if you are, you're just going to be like, you know what, I'm fed up of pot given to you. I'm going to pour into myself. You're not present in the marriage anyway, so why am I trying? Which might be awkward, but I think you certainly won't care, because you'll be like, right, it's all about me now. All about me. I'm not pouring into it anymore. That's where you're heading. That's the energy of where you're heading. And it feels like you're about to approach the most contentest part that you've been in your life for a really long time by shifting that focus completely that direction. Sometimes we put so much emphasis on love and our love lives being very much about being with another person and how that makes us whole, when actually if we make ourselves whole, we don't need somebody else. We want to have somebody else because it might be a compliment to the life that we're having. But there's certainly no point having a relationship if that person's not having a relationship back with you. It just becomes like servitude. Does that make sense? And so you might as well be self-serving, which is exactly where you get to through that this month. So the transformation for you is about finding yourself, and for lastly, letting go of the last dredges of any connection that you had with somebody that you waited and waited and wasn't going anywhere fast because they couldn't give you, see it like this way, because you're transforming so beautifully. You're a different version of yourself, which always feels sad to cathartically almost like grieve that version of yourself as you're transforming out of being somebody who would have waited, somebody who would have just did more, self-sacrificing, to somebody who now won't. It's sad, but it's, again, this version they've given me of yourself, like living life and being free and partying, is the version you're turning into, where you won't care as much as you did today or tomorrow. You just won't. It's a complete energy shift. And all they're saying here is that leads you towards, and I've been finding this year, for those of us who've ended those cycles, to have that trust and believe, and we walk forward in that way, we are only going to be walking into being aligned with somebody who's so much better for us, and that's you too. But I would say it's more the second half of this year, for those of you who want to know that, where you get aligned to it. And I know some of you might think, oh, well, that's too long. No, it's not. You need this time to enjoy being single, to be vibrationally in the best version of yourself, to feel that whole yourself, so that you don't get vibrationally matched again to a loser because you're trying to get them to fill a hole that's missing in you. You want them to complement you, that are not that you're not having to serve them. You want someone who's equal and balanced, which this year will offer that to people who've learned that lesson. Very, very much so. You are going to walk towards your ideal wish-making lifelong partner. It's a number 6 year. It's love year, and it's very much about you walking in that direction and that energy. For those where this is applicable, very, very much, like I said, this is very much the energy of people who are saying they're turning their backs on somebody. This is not for people that are happy in their connections. You wouldn't be here if that was the case. Something about you on water, and that, I know this is general, but it does feel like water for you. I mean, you're a water sign, but this feels more like how you connect with the new person. So either they are a water sign, which could be one way of interpreting this if I'm going to keep this general, but the feeling that I'm getting is very much that it is you meeting them near water, on water. There's a lake behind the house, there's a beach, you're on a beach, swimming barbs. What else could be water related? Ice skating. Like there's so many things, but there's something to do with you on water with them, or again, they could also be another water sign, and that links you together. Is the best way for me to interpret what they're trying to generalize when it comes to water and you and the other person, the new person. There's a small, and I say this is small, so please don't get your hopes up for those of you who are looking for ex people, because we just talked about you walking away from exes, but there's a small part of you where it is not the ex you've just left, but another one coming forward. Small amount of you. For everybody else, it's new, but there is a deep feeling that you would have, at a spiritual level, felt like you have known them before in your past, and you would be right. Everything about their soul screams like you know them. 100%. 100%. And that's where you're walking towards. So we're going to go into extended. We're going to have a look at this new person some more, what their intentions are, any more details about them, and if you want to learn more about that, the link is just down below. If not, I will see you next month. Take care.